Wow, Coach Prime really does have a thing for that Louis luggage, doesn't he? I tell you what, he added his 25th piece to what was already the number one ranked transfer portal class in all of 2023. Yet another high value skill player stuffed into what was the already 21st ranked overall recruiting class in the 2023 cycle. That is now more than 40 players overall that the coach has brought into Boulder, and there's still an opportunity to do more with the portal opening up one more time once the spring season is over with. Oh, haters, let's talk about it. Let's go! Welcome back to the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, and if you love college football, you're definitely in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring that bell so you don't miss one moment of the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. I tell you, for all these people, I've said this a bunch of times before, but I'm going to go ahead and start it the same way today. For all those haters out there that think that this is a joke, that Coach Prime is at a major college program and that he's not going to get anything done. Well, that number one overall transfer portal class just got a little better as Coach Prime adds Xavier Weaver, a 6'1", 165-pound wide receiver who transferred in from South Florida to just be another weapon for this Colorado Buffaloes team trying to improve from a 1-11 record a year ago under head coach Carl Durrell. I'll tell you something. These guys are not joking around. And when you see the seriousness with which, it's loud and it's they're telling you what they're going to do. They're going to come to win. They're here to win. They're ready to get it done. And they're proving that with every move they make. This kid right here has been, I think he's a 2019 3-star recruit, but in the last two seasons at South Florida, he had 53 receptions in 2022 for 718 yards and an average of 13.5 yards per reception. He had 6 touchdowns. The year before that, he had 715 yards on just 41 receptions at a 17.4 yard per reception clip with 2 touchdowns. This is a speed burner guy that, and as I said earlier, the 25th portal edition to this swelled, stuffed Louis bag full of studs that are coming in here to help Coach Prime change things around in Boulder. Again, I'm going to say it again. The guy has come in here with the attitude, the same attitude that he took into Jackson State. They expect to win. And something that Coach Roybal said on one of the shows before, the guy hasn't failed at anything he's ever done. So I tend to believe they're probably going to win if he says they're going to win. All right, so what is, but let's be serious about it. What is a realistic total? I predicted earlier a couple of weeks back that I thought they'd probably win about 7 games, more, maybe a little more. Consider that Lincoln Riley took over a USC program a year ago that was 4-8 overall the year before he got there. It went crazy in the portal as Lincoln does, adding skill players like Mario Williams from Oklahoma. Also, Biletnikoff winner Jordan Addison of Pittsburgh, along with the eventual Heisman Trophy winner Caleb Williams, also from Oklahoma, and finished the regular season with an 11-1 mark, a berth in the Pac-12 title game, and a New Year's 6 Cotton Bowl, which incidentally, he lost both of those, the Pac-12 title game to Utah and the Cotton Bowl to Tulane. Just had to throw that in there. But it was quite a turnaround for the Trojans. But the reason that I bring it up is the fact that the rebuild on that team was very, very similar to what you're seeing with Coach Prime and the Buffaloes. Aside from the fact that, this CU team, who most have projected they're probably going to win over, this should be bowl eligible. I think that's most people have at least said that. You've had people like Joe Klatt say that, he expects them to immediately flip this thing around. Of course, he's a Colorado alumni himself, former player there. So I feel like most people feel like this is going to happen, particularly when Coach Prime brings in all this notable Louis luggage that he told everybody about. Now, the difference would be, unlike Lincoln Riley's Trojans, the Buffaloes have taken a more balanced approach to building this football team in terms of offense and defense. Coach Prime and staff have added or projected defensive starters and immediate impact guys, such as a trio of linebackers headed by Alabama transfer Demoy Kennedy, Devin Grant from San Antonio Antonian College Prep, and also Robert Barnes, who I think most Oklahoma fans will remember is a transfer from the Sooners from this past season. Not to mention Coach Prime's son, Shiloh, who before he played for the coach at Jackson State was a starter and one of the better players on a pretty stout South Carolina defense the year before that. You also have the number 1 overall recruit from the 2022 recruiting class, Travis Hunter, who was a flip from Florida State by Coach Prime to Jackson State and has now followed the coach to Boulder. And he did that trick one more time. This Coach Prime flipped another Sunshine State shutdown corner. Say that 3 times fast. And he did it again from Mario Cristobal this time and the Miami Hurricanes, picking up the 14th overall ranked player in the country, number 1 cornerback overall, Cormani McClain. With a coach like Charles Kelly, who left Nick Saban's Alabama defensive staff to become the Buffs' defensive coordinator, along with clearly superior defensive transfer and recruiting talent coming into year 1 in Boulder. Then you add an addition like Weaver to an offense already featuring another highly respected coach in offensive coordinator Sean Lewis, head coach at Kent State a year ago, one of the most respected offensive minds in the college game. Then you toss in a couple of incoming wideouts like 4 stars Omarion Miller from Louisiana and Adam Hopkins out of Georgia, not to mention transfer running back Kavasier Smoke and incoming freshman Dylon Edwards, who is an electric running back out of Derby, Kansas. Oh, and did I forget to mention a quarterback with similar build and skill set to USC's Heisman winner, Caleb Williams, Coach Prime's other son, Shedeur Sanders, who Lewis expects to put up similar numbers playing out of his wide open offense in 2023. Folks, got to tell you, it's not that far-fetched to think that you could see something very, very similar to what Lincoln Riley did with the Trojans a year ago. 111 is not the same as 4-8, but the 11-1 finish that Lincoln had going into the postseason, pretty unheard of. And he had a defense that was given up. I mean, it was one of the worst in the country. One of the worst in the country. They couldn't stop anything, and they still have that same coach, Alex Grinch, that everybody wanted to fire from Oklahoma. They really wanted to fire him from USC, and it didn't happen. What the difference is here is that Coach Prime is going to be all about defense. They are just as importantly playing offense, and they're adding on both sides of the ball. So I don't think that it's out of the question that they could do such a thing. In fact, my prediction just went up to 8 games minimum. I do think they probably have a little bit tougher schedule than what Lincoln had as far as the regular season was concerned a year ago. They open up with TCU. They will also have to, I believe they're going to end up playing Oregon, which the Trojans didn't do last year. But I think 8 or 9 games is not really too much to ask, but out of a roster that is this loaded with talent. It is indeed Louis Luggage. And when Coach says he's coming, he is coming. And he has brought along an amazing staff, an amazing attitude to get this thing flipped around. It's quite an addition here. This guy, and he's not even done. Who's to say what's to happen next? As again, I said this before, and I'm going to continue to say this. Coach Prime is a problem, and not just for the Pac-12, for the entire country. Stephen A. Smith said a couple weeks ago on social media, I saw that he expects that by year 3, they're in the college football playoff. I don't think it's far-fetched. I really don't. We'll figure it out, but sure looking good so far. And as I said on the last video, they're already winning with this guy. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. I'd appreciate it if you guys make sure that you hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to the program, and check out our new merch section. We even have a couple of items there for our Colorado fans that are enjoying our content. You can always hit that Fanatics Partner Store for up to 65% off everything in the store just by using our link. Hey, and you can also share some tips with us, support the show that way through CashApp or Venmo, or you can just hit that super chat heart. Either way you do it, we'd appreciate that. The main thing, you can do it for free just by hitting that like button and the subscriber. It always helps us content creators out tremendously. But thanks a lot for stopping by. We will see you on the next one.